on. All right. And we have a frozen camera. Love it. Let's try that again. Haha. Happy Wednesday. Caught this one early.
Starting off strong.
The
day when everything works perfectly on time is the day you know it's the end of the world.
Then I just need to quit. It's like, okay, well, I can move on. Hello and welcome to another Wednesday live stream. I hope you're all having a wonderful start of September. The year is getting closer to the end. Summer is drawing to a close. Fall is around the corner. And we just got back from a major gaming convention, the NOVA Open 2024. So, lots to talk about with that, including some swag and some con pickups that I want to share with you all. But first off, just brief introductions if you've never been here before. I'm Miranda. With me, I've got my friend, the painter Flo.
Hello.
What are you working on tonight?
I am finishing up a Space Wolf.
A Space Wolf.
A Space Wolf. I just finished the Raven Guard that's on the turntable. So.
There you go. Check his lovely workout. And then on my other side, I've got disembodied voice here.
Hello.
All right. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. Also, special shout out to my moderator, Paul. We had a birthday just a couple of weeks ago. Got to hang out. It was fun. But I appreciate all you do here, Paul. Let's see, what do we got here? Hello, Thomas Grable. Welcome to the chat. Wild Chevy, haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? Are we going to see a con hall showcase? A little bit of one. I couldn't afford to buy everything. There are many things that I did not purchase. Paul had YouTube pop up before I could chat saying, don't forget you're a moderator for this channel. It's your job to make it a safe place. Well, I trust Paul's judgment. Guess no drinking for the moderator tonight. Hi, Plunder Den. Appreciate you joining us. Hope you're doing all right. Dion Blackwell, welcome. Hello, I've been painting, building cyberpunk minis myself. Cyberpunk minis. I don't think we've messed with that so much. I always figured the Infinity models were kind of in that vein, like anime, cyberpunk kind of deal. And then...
Yeah, they're pretty cyberpunk.
Yeah. But I don't know that I've ever painted a cyberpunk miniature, in fairness.
I mean, Aristea, kind of?
You did, yeah, that's true. The Aristea models are definitely up there. Yeah, I got to hang out with the Corvus Belli guys. Gutier was on one of our game design panels over at NOVA, so that was really quite fun. We got to have that conversation with him and a couple of other game designers on a panel, and answer questions for people who are looking to make up their own games and everything. It's really quite fun. Yeah. All right, so when did NOVA happen? NOVA took place more than a week ago. I guess exactly a week ago. It officially kicked off on the 28th. We traveled on the 27th, so the day before pre-con madness. And I've got actually a fun video cut together to share with you all. Guess we'll have to jump into that here. Let's see, before that. Blackwell, let me see, Plunder Den, I'm continuing to work on another game table commission. Posted some pics on your Facebook page. Oh, sweet, thank you, Plunder Den. Future collaboration with Corvus Belli? Maybe maybe, that would be really cool. I'd have to... It would probably be from, like, the Aristea angle. Like, I even talked to Gutier, and I'm like, I love what you guys do. I cannot get into Infinity. I'm sorry. It's like every time I see him, I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't like the list building. Thomas, I'm painting a family of something farmers. I love how, like, little emojis like to cover that. From Dunkeldorf and Midland Miniatures. I am unfamiliar with that, but if you're working on it, Thomas, I know it's going to be gorgeous. All right, so let's just jump into our little video. It loops, so we can kind of chat over some of the stuff. First off, it's worth mentioning that Catalyst showed up for the first time to NOVA this year. So those are the makers of BattleTech, and they had this huge BattleTech out in the very front of the hotel.
I think that's to scale, right?
Maybe. I didn't
Maybe
ever
almost
ask
to scale.
them.
I don't know.
Maybe just to scale. It was really fun. So we got some pictures in front of that. Here was the 40K hall where the grand narrative, where the GT was taking place, as well as the 40K narrative. Both of those things were happening. Lots and lots of game tables. Such pretty terrain, such pretty models. Oh my gosh. So you even got some shots I haven't seen in here. Oh, look at that. So obviously, I don't even know how many people were playing in the GT, but many of them.
Oh, a lot.
It was a lot. It was a very, very full 40K hall, very noisy. You know that con noise, just kind of get used to, except when you're editing
After a
video.
while.
But yeah, all of these are in the 40K hall. You can tell with those.
See, look at the ceiling. Doesn't that look like you're in an Eldar ship?
Yeah, a very Eldar looking ship area. A little bit brighter this year. A little bit. Going farmer collect night soil. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, GT was a lot of fun. There was like boarding actions and kill team and all that sort of stuff. Got to see Uncle Adam, hang out with him. I got to meet Stephen Fox, who writes, well, he has Vanguard Tactics, but he also writes for White Dwarf. Of course, Erica and Andy from Tried and True, some good buddies. This is why you go to conventions. This is where you like get to meet up with all your friends, with people that you like have been following online. It's really awesome because Nova, it's around 3,000, 3,500 people. So it's small enough that you can kind of run into anybody you're hoping to run into without it being overwhelming. And then it's always feeling busy. So it's a really good balance. Like, I love me some Adepticon, but it starts to feel pretty crowded after a while, at least in the last hotel. We'll see what the new one is like. But yeah, we got some... that's all in the War Machine area. So a bunch of War Machine stuff was happening. They had some steamrollers. They had a narrative event happening as well. Hold guard. Oh, me and Disembodied Voice. We've got a tech priest. He was the one running the narrative campaign for 40K. His helper, Tyler. We were having a little bit of ridiculousness. Shay, Katie and Sergeant Steele, always wonderful, wonderful human being. You're watching it though? All right. Okay, we're back.
You figure the soundboard would get better. That like one of the drivers would actually work at some point with this. Never does.
Nope.
We've had this soundboard for years now.
So much good cosplay. Oh my gosh, so much great cosplay. So we're really, really pushing to try and get more cosplay happening this weekend or this Nova. And I need to find a better place to have everybody posing and photographing. But it was great. It was absolutely...
Or at least have
really cool.
better lighting.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the... Yeah, or set up...
It was kind of in a shadow.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, when you're looking around hotel venue spots, like, lighting is just
You didn't make it.
your worst enemy. Did it not? Oh, that's weird. All right, we're gonna...
Again.
I have to hit the button that says loop. That might help.
There we go. Our video is supposed to loop so you guys can see stuff in case you miss it.
Yes. Darcy Bono in cosplay. Do you know who that is? so excited for Space Marine 2. So is Paul. In fact, are you going to have that this weekend? I don't know. Should I play Space Marine 2, guys? Like, what do you think, Disembodied Voice? Should I play Space Marine 2?
Well, if you do, I'll probably end up getting it. Because I love Dark Tide, but I like third person way better. So, there's that.
There is that. I think the multiplayer on it's like 3-player. Is that right, Paul? I thought I heard it was 3-player. It was kind of like a weird number. Let me catch up on a little bit of the chat here. Paul, I built 2 Necromunda Ambots recently, almost 40 parts each. Quite a journey.
I made my orc war boss out of an Ambot.
Did you?
Yeah, his the little big mech.
Yeah.
And so I did a little bit of 3D printing stuff on him and added some wires and some other stuff. But yeah, his main body is an Ambot. They're cool looking.
Darcy was a Utah painter and does some of the preview kits on the GW blog. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, in cosplay. I love it. I handed ribbons out to a lot of the cosplayers, but I didn't talk to them too much. Which costume is he in? Is Darcy in? Or she in? I don't know. Darcy.
Could go either way.
I was like, wait a minute. I actually don't know what gender that name is.
Is it the Space Marine?
Yeah, Space Marine 2 is 3-player co-op for story and side missions, I believe. Okay, so if we both got it, then we could play Space Marine 2 Paul and get through the story.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. That would be pretty fun. Those tried and true tables are looking good. Notice how the War Machine community is having such a lovely resurgence with 3D terrain. It's really nice.
Yeah, all that well-created toy. They even have a dock there at the end that's made out of popsicle sticks and cool stuff. It's great.
Set that
It's way
down.
better than a bunch of placemats.
Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff happened major highlights are kind of like captured here. The game room is always like a fun environment to see everybody getting their crunchy tournaments in. And there was some dedication. Like the narrative alone was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Players who were doing all of it played 10 games. Now it's not
Was it 10 or was it 11? I thought I heard 11.
I believe it's 10. It was 3 games a day with 1 game on Sunday.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And, it seems like such a lot. But I know everyone who was involved in the narrative really loved it because it's a lot more relaxed than playing in a GT, getting a bunch of judge calls, being really crunchy and tight about the rules. Like, this is a lot more casually played. So I don't know that it feels as draining.
By the way, the shot that's coming up here in a second with all the dry ice, like that's literal dry ice that guy has pumping into
That's what he used?
Yeah, he had a container full of dry ice and then LEDs, and it's kind of cool, the little portal that the Eldar thing is coming through. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I think it's the next one.
Dioramas are absolutely incredible. There we go. Okay, yeah, so that's the portal.
Yeah, so he's coming through the portal, and you can see a little bit of this like kind of fog coming out, but then it's all coming out of the bottom.
That's all dry ice.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
wow.
all
Dang. Yeah, that looks incredible.
And don't forget the little Eldar Shadow Seer
Yeah.
laying on the ground there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot of 40K representation, an actual Space Marine, which I didn't expect to see this go around. So that was really fun. Saren, Commissar, obviously Cadian.
We did have a furry trying to get in on the
Sneak
cosplay,
around.
but I think I cut him out of our footage, so I did my part.
I did my part.
Oh my gosh.
I want to watch
see
that
more.
movie. I want to watch that movie now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Really cool to see Nova. It is cool. One of these days you'll see Nova much more close up, I'm sure.
I say, one of these days I'd like to check out Nova.
I think you'd enjoy the painting competition. Oh, yes. Let me talk a little bit about that. So, Nova apparently, at least as of this year, and probably as of last year, frankly, now has the largest painting competition of any of the major conventions. And I don't know if that's limited to wargaming or just all the conventions, period, because there was somewhere around 1,100-ish.
Just any type of painting anywhere in the world.
For miniatures. My gosh. There was something around 1,100 submissions this year, and it was absolutely really incredible. Like, every year, Nova has to keep buying more and more cases to put all of the beautiful models in. And it's not like just anything was even getting in. Like, people were really putting their best foot forward. Like, all the categories, we walked those shelves, and there were so many beautiful models. We saw amazing examples of OSL. We saw amazing dioramas. Oh, the dioramas. Really cool, like, Titan models. There was this one Titan model, it's a Warhound, and the guy had made the Warhound running through, like, water, running through, like an ocean almost. And his foot is completely submerged in the resin of the water, and then I guess he used like a Dremel to make the waves, the choppy water that he's running on. It looks
Yeah, he had like
good.
a round base that it was standing on, and it was a good 3 or 4 inches of clear resin that he had cast.
Yeah.
With the Titan's foot in it, you know, and he had painted the ocean floor and did all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then took maybe like a 1-inch ball, something like that, on a Dremel, and just basically carved out a bunch of divots that look like waves. Mm-hmm. And then at one point near the leg, it skipped and hit the leg of the Titan. So he's like, that's where waves are going to go. And so then he started adding waves to it.
You did, yeah.
Everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I talked to him a little bit about it.
Wow, that
was great.
That was incredible. He was, unfortunately, in the Titan battle, I think he was the one to blow up first or something.
Yeah, he might have been killed first. Chris shot him off the table with his Warlord Titan.
The big
Warlord
one.
picking on a Warhound.
Not the Reaver.
Literally came in and kicked the dog. Like, this just had a bad
Way
day.
to go,
and
Chris.
just
Jeez.
being a jerk.
Way to be a jerk. But Chris also had a Titan in the, not his own, it was painted by a professional painter, Izzy, who did a Reaver Titan and posed the whole model. He actually had a class he was teaching on advanced assembly techniques. So whenever you're trying to make a model look a little bit more custom or give it a pose that's not just, you know, like a mono pose figure you get off a sprue, this is more applicable to like bigger, larger models when you're dealing with resin because you can do a lot more with it. That really is kind of the hobbyist side of it. Anyway, he did a really great job. He had the Reaver Titan positioned so that it was like punching.
I decided it looked like Mighty Mouse taken off.
He decided it was like Mighty Mouse. Is Nova the convention with the big charity raffle? Yes, though I didn't get a lot of information on the charity raffle before tonight, but Nova's like involved in multiple charities, including tableware charities, and they raised over 4,000 in that neighborhood. Tableware actually posted about it, so they were able to raise some money for their charities, but as well as a bunch of others. So Nova definitely, I think most of the, I know Adepticon has charity raffles too, but Nova really like leans a lot into that. Yeah, so that was really cool to see. It's a Nova thing. I'm sorry, there was the Titan battle. There was the cosplay. Oh yeah, so I was in the middle of talking about Capital Palace and got distracted. So obviously a bunch of absolutely stunning entries, but the reason why Capital Palace, and I learned this because I did some interviews, so I actually got some really like straight from the horse's mouth information on it, is that the way the judging happens. So yeah, we have like 1,100 submissions, but there isn't just like one gold, one silver, one bronze medalist in like each of the categories. There's 3 major divisions and then like 6 subcategories that you would put your model into. And the divisions are largely self-assessed, but you could talk to the judges if you're not sure where you would want to belong or where you'd want to go necessarily. But there's like a beginner, intermediate, and like master level. I think it was like apprentice. Can't remember the middle one, and master, but 3
like
major
a Sith
divisions.
and wait.
No.
They have apprentices, right?
Do Sith have apprentices?
Yeah, that's like one of them. If you have an apprentice, you have a Sith. We've learned this.
Oh, God. Yes. But I don't know what the middle category. What's a mid-level Sith called? They're just apprentice until they're master,
there's just
aren't
the
they?
2.
Yeah. So that's not all like a Sith. There's a 3rd category. third division. Anyway, you put your model in there, and then there's a bunch of subcategories. So you can have like single miniature, that's I think 54 mil and smaller, somewhere in that category. And then there's like single miniature large. Then there's like unit and diorama and bust and ordnance is what it was called, but it's basically like vehicles, anything like that. I believe all the Titans probably fall into that. Whew. But here's the cool thing. The way the judges work is they're all divided out to handle each of the different categories, and they're groupings of judges, and they will recognize the techniques and the approach you took to each of the miniatures because they're like master painters themselves. They've won a bunch of competitions. They've taught classes. They've been around a while, so they know what they're talking about. And they will look at the techniques that are utilized in your own specific miniature and then sort of gauge how well you did that based on your division and, you know, how well you accomplish that technique. So multiple people, multiple models can win golds and silvers and bronzes and all that just by sort of meeting a certain benchmark. So they consider, it's called open format judging, and you're essentially gauged against yourself. So if you were trying an OSL technique, the judges will recognize that. Be like, okay, well, they did this part really well. This part still needs some work. And you can also get judge feedback. So it's like the most approachable, I would say, from a painting perspective. You joined when Crystal Brush, years and years ago, when Crystal Brush was still a thing, but you got like no feedback, right?
I got no feedback. That was also the year they stopped photographing everything. So they never took photographs of anything. They did their first wave and just eliminated 90% of everything. No feedback or anything. And then they had
what does that mean,
popular vote for the
illuminated?
rest
Like
of them.
they posted it, or what do you mean by illuminated?
Eliminated.
Oh, eliminated. Oh, okay. I thought you meant illuminate, like you put a light on it.
No. They eliminated 90% of the entries, chose the ones that they decided were best, and then they put them up, and it was popular vote after that.
Huh.
And
Yeah, this is very different.
this is very different. And Nova still has, like best in show, and I think there's like a best of each of the different categories. But as far as like being able to have your model judged appropriately and not necessarily in relation to what someone else happened to bring that year, I think ends up making people, it feels more fair, right? Like you feel like your own entry is being judged fairly, regardless of if somebody comes in with an absolutely stunning, sweeping model that year, you still are getting a fair shake at it. So that's the idea. I think that's why it's so popular and why we have so many entrants. And I look forward to seeing more of them come in because they looked great. There was a really cool Alice in Wonderland diorama. There was and it was like kind of a twist on it, like not quite American McGee, but in that vein. There was a really good OSL model that we had looked at, just like a dwarf.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
So there was one with a bunch of dwarves carrying torches across this area, and they did a really good job with it. But there was one that you really liked that was like, it's like a little wizard's, like his little office,
Yes.
But they had literally so they had a window, like a nighttime window, and they had the moon painted outside of it and stuff. And then just this little kind of rectangle on the floor. That was the moonlight coming in from the window. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, they had the
and then on the
moonlight.
other wall, he was opening a portal to somewhere, and so it was
That
like this
light.
ring of fire that the portal's inside of. So the fire's like illuminating stuff. I know you like that one a lot. I don't guess we got any pictures of it or anything because I didn't find it in the pictures or footage we had.
That's too bad. Yeah, it was so pretty. I think they are going to be showing up on Instagram though. So if you do the Instagram thingy, you'll be able to see the capital palette entries there at some point. I'm sure they're all still getting processed through. Paul says, popular vote isn't great for minis. If you've painted a faction everyone hates, you aren't going to get many votes.
Oh
There's
yeah, it'll be
bias.
unconscious bias. Yeah.
For sure. And in
Well,
fairness,
it's the other thing I was saying too. I was talking to Flo about it earlier, where it's like, if you've had a custom model, like modeled for you, and it's just super cool, then it's like, yeah, sorry, no one else got to start with that, just you. So, and if it's a really neat model, then that leans way heavy in your favor, even if you didn't
Right.
even model it.
No, there's definitely that. Although attendees of NOVA could actually vote on their favorite miniature, but it's just one of the categories, right? And so you can still get your judge's feedback or, get, judged professionally or whatever on top of that. Because, there's the bias of voting for whatever you think is like a faction you lean toward. A lot of times people are voting for friends, support your friend. So that's usually what
Yeah. Or just, I watch this guy on YouTube. He's a YouTube painter. So half the people here are fans of him. Oh, look, that's his submission. I vote for it,
For sure. So you can definitely get that.
I mean, it's basically, you would have just been a shoo-in, essentially. Everybody like, oh my God, where's Wargamer Girl's model? We'll vote for that. As Miranda submits the first model she ever painted.
Oh my gosh.
It would win.
I wonder what the feedback would be. They're like, why did you try to enter this in the Masters category? Which, if you're being really like a jerk about it, they can move your category, which I'm sure would happen to me. Like, not for me being a jerk about it, just me not knowing what I'm doing. I don't know. I enjoy painting sometimes. I enjoy painting when I don't have to do a lot of it. You can really get in there and like make a beautiful face on a mini or something.
Miranda's very proud of her ability to paint faces. She can do the faces.
3 Blood Angels by Miranda. Did I put helmets on all of them, or did one of them not have a helmet? Can't remember now.
I don't know. I want to say it was like a kit or something, or a little starter thing that came with a few.
Yeah, it was a little kit of 3.
So probably it's like guy without helmet and then 2 other red shirts. I mean, they're Blood Angels, so all their shirts are red, but yeah.
I wonder if I should submit something. Like if you go next year, we all go next year. Like if we should all 3 submit something.
Yeah, we could. I'll just submit a Stompa. No, not a Stompa, a Gargant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll make a Gargant and
Orc
submit
Gargant.
that.
Okay. You could do that.
Then I'll have to take them out for the Titan battle so you can not take place in it. There is that has some contention.
Oh, what's it?
Because the Titan battle is like a Titan walk, I think is what it's called. But it's like the Titan Owners Club, and you have to have the little certificate that you bought, an official one or whatever.
Yeah, your certificate of authenticity.
And it's like, oh, I don't know. Especially if you did anything orky, since there are no technically any orc Titans that have ever been made, then how can that be? And then like, what is it? My Reaver, like is a custom build Reaver I just made from scratch, but it doesn't count either. And it's like, I don't love that.
Well, there's a rumor that next year there might be something for the alternative kids as well, if there's enough alternative kids showing up. So have heart.
Comprised of 50% of the stoners and 50% of the band kids. And they're like the rejects, and they're doing their own thing.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll
don't forget, foreign exchange students fall into that too.
Foreign exchange students.
Yeah, okay. That's the 3 that fall into that group.
All right, nice to know I have a group to hang out with.
All right, well, who wants to go over the haul loot from Nova, which we were horribly ill prepared for, but thank goodness we have 2 free checked bags at the airport.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't bring, I didn't even bring my camera, as you can tell from this footage. It's like phone footage. And so we were able to actually get something back on the plane. It's like we ended up with a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I don't even know what to do. I'm in DC. I don't even know where you buy a duffel bag anywhere near the hotel.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting thing. Like being in the heart of DC.
Although we did go see the Ronald Reagan movie.
We did. Okay, so we're staying at the Washington Hilton, which is where Nova takes place, and it's also where Reagan got shot in
81?
the 80s. Yeah. And so we're staying there, and the Reagan movie has come out like the weekend that
we're like,
there.
oh my God, we have to, because here we are.
Yeah, so the last day of Nova, we ducked out to go find a movie theater that was like, I don't know, 15-minute Uber drive or something away to watch the Reagan movie, which was very okay.
It's a decent movie. It's just, it's not
a dramatic movie. It's more of like just a memorial movie.
It does open with him being shot at our hotel.
Yeah, no, I was expecting a little more drama because of that as a result, but it's a perfectly fine movie. It's just not a very, dramatically told story, and they maybe like overemphasize some details and underemphasize other ones. I don't know. It's like they're trying to be very like
they tried to put
cover
everything in.
yeah.
And it's like, yeah, don't do that. Like, focus on something.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, so we had to go see that, and then the first day or second day, I guess we were there. We went walking. We walked down to the Washington Monument.
We went to the White House.
We looked at the White House, shook our fist.
Yeah, we didn't realize we were that close to it. Yeah, right.
Along with everyone else.
No, we like last year it didn't even dawn on me, but we started looking at a map and it's like, oh, White House is like walking distance from here. What the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I had no idea. So yeah, we saw that. Then we walked down to the Washington Monument. So we got to see the big obelisk. And then walked to Congress, shook our fist.
I know. A lot of fist shaking.
No one cared. Then we turned around and went the other way to see the Lincoln Memorial, which was really, really cool.
Walked all the way up to it, and Miranda got to see what it looks like
to grow old.
To be old.
To be old. Remember that line from Logan's Run is? Yeah, it's interesting. It's really, I mean, it is really cool. And we ended up walking on the hottest day we were there. We didn't know, but whatever. So we walked like 9.5 miles.
Well, you were also kind of busy on the other days, so it really was the only option anyway.
It really was. It was really fun. So first time we actually got to walk around and do anything in DC. And by goodness, by the
way,
time
Wild Chevy is wrong. Tommy and Miranda would have kindly welcomed a cloud while we were out walking in DC.
It's true. I am proud to
We did not shake our fist at any of them. If anything, we were beckoning them toward.
Come here.
Like, go over the sun. Just right over there.
I didn't get sunburned, and I didn't have any sunscreen on, so I did have your hat. I wore your hat for it because it was getting. I worried that I would start combusting soon. But I am proud to say that, at least so far, I've not come back with any con cred. My pre-gaming of lots of vitamin C and zinc and all my other
zinc
vitamins.
pills every day for 2 weeks before you went?
Before the convention and during the convention, and just having water, which I really do appreciate. All days of NOVA, there were water fountains, like water dispensers available constantly. And they were usually filled, and there were plenty of cups. So, like, you did not have trouble staying hydrated with water if that's what you what you want.
And when we were walking around, I kept buying Miranda a bunch of very expensive bottled waters.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing cheap in DC, that's for sure. But it was really good. It was really nice. Yes. Okay, Paul says that one of them does have a face. I was trying to remember if I painted one of their faces. I would have wanted to, because I know they usually give you an option to have them all covered or not.
So did you do a pretty job? Did you have a pretty face?
I'm going to assume so. I don't know.
Because you got a pretty mouth.
My goodness. Paul says, well, they're phasing out Forge World. Huge models have to be plastic
full circle.
at some point.
John Voight was in the Reagan movie. And he also has a pretty mouth. You haven't seen Deliverance.
Mm-mm. I've not seen Deliverance.
Has anyone seen? Am I the only one who's seen it? Have you seen it, Flo?
I've seen pieces of it. I never got to see the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I know the line though.
Yeah, well, everybody knows the line and the little banjo riff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. John Voight is in the Reagan movie.
Yeah, he plays a Russian KGB guy.
Yeah.
Soviet spy.
Which is interesting. Like some of the things they mention, I'm like, I knew that. I knew that already. But
all of your Soviet era, like Russian history coming to you.
Yeah, basically. Like the stuff I can't remember.
Comrade Brezhnev and.
Oh yeah.
And was it probably the funniest moment in the movie when the Soviet leaders keep dying?
General secretaries. That became the highest position in the Soviet Union, partly because of Stalin's maneuvering, and then they just never changed the title. General Secretary. That was the highest. Anyway, yeah, that was a pretty funny spot because, like, they're just dying of sickness or maybe poisoning, who knows? In the Soviet Union.
Sickness or occupational hazard.
Yes, exactly. Oh, we got Melinda in the chat. Hello.
Hi,
Hey.
Melinda.
Said, had a great time in Albuquerque, but missed you. You did miss us. Oh, but
Never heard from you.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Oh, she said she did an escape room next door. Which one did you do? And did you peek in and look at our studio?
Yeah, which escape room? Well, we did the Egyptian one together.
Hey, Sergeant Steele's here.
Hi, I
Hey,
got
keep
pictures
watching.
of you
You're
in
on here. You're on our video.
Thanks for popping in, Mr. Steele. We were bragging on you and Rachel and Chris and all the folks running the narrative and making sure everyone's having a good time through all 10 of your games over the week. Did you ever get any time to go shopping or see anything else? Or was it just like you lived in that hall? But it was great. Patty, welcome to the chat. Appreciate ya. Appreciate you joining us.
He got to see the narrative and he got to see the back of his eyelids, and that was it.
On the inside of his helmet, periodically. Melinda did super secret. No, I
Okay.
didn't peek. And she apparently doesn't have Flo's number.
No, when you head back to the escape rooms, Melinda, there's a window on the left. You can literally look into our studio.
It's true. We literally never covered it. Okay, still says, I got like 30 minutes to shop. Yep. That sounds about right.
Were those contiguous minutes, or were that like when you add them
Was
all?
that over the whole weekend combined? Just like, hold this. Yeah, I don't know with the games, because the vendor hall is open just certain hours, if it's worth like letting people go shop, or if they just have to finish their game and then go. I don't know. Maybe it's where you have friends, right? It's like you're the person in the tournament doing the thing, and you're dedicated to that. You've got like friends or a spouse or something that are like covering you on the vendor hall side. And so they'll be like, hey, I see this.
Yeah.
You can be like, yeah, I get it. And then you just go back to your games. I definitely see that being a viable plan. Oh, hum.
Patty says hi.
Patty, welcome. Well, let's go over some of the stuff. So I got a Supernova. Yeah. Supernova swag bag. So it's the fancy pants bag. But I turned down the A case because I'm not really using them. And I've got an extra that's been sitting empty, so I opted not to get that. So typically a Supernova comes with an KR case? Maybe it's a KR case. I don't know. It comes with a miniature bag with no foam in it. So, you can go pick up the foam, but then you've got that case. So there's that. I didn't do that part. But I did get... Super Secret was in the right side. I think you're on the left side.
That's
Would love to
correct.
peek. That is correct, yes. But we got a sweet... I
Super
really like...
Secret's cool. By the way, if anybody is traveling through Albuquerque and you just have time, like the New Mexico escape room's really cool. Like they have some really good ones.
Yes, they do. They're quite fun. They got stuff for your horror itch, for your superhero itch, for your archaeology itch, for more
Also,
horror.
if you're that, was it the true crime kind of girl, then they do have a murderer in a cabin in the woods, one that's pretty good. Like it's involved.
It is involved. It was really cool. And then like a fairly approachable, let's say, like basic Western style one.
Yeah, the Western one's good. Super Secret's a good, like, right in the middle, I think. And it has a cool style. It's very
We broke it when we
1960s
played it.
superhero.
Miranda broke it.
Yeah, we were one of the first to go in it and test it when they built it, and we broke it.
How we do.
We still
Specifically,
managed to-
Miranda broke it. It's all her fault.
It was blamed on me.
It got fixed, and we managed to finish it still.
Yeah. You can
Just needed a pause in the middle there.
play Super Secret and meet our governor. All right, so come to New Mexico and get some Breaking Bad candy at an airport. Yeah, I guess people still do that. Candy Lady's still around.
Candy Lady's still around. I took Aaron, actually, to go see Candy Lady when he was here. And he bought some blue meth. And they put it in a bag, and he was able to take it on the airplane back.
Oh, yeah. We had two 12-year-old boys with us. That's why we chose that theme. It's a really fun one anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Did you win it? Did you beat it? But yeah, so swag. Supernova swag.
Yes.
We got I really, really loved this glass. I thought it was going to be just a basic pint glass, but it's kind of like the way you'd think of the facing of a grenade or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't read on the camera as well, but it's kind of like a pineapple grenade.
Yeah. And it's got the etched glass, but it's like nice and heavy and was like, huh, I will probably actually use that quite often. So that was super fun. I ended up finding out all this stuff after we were heading back because I didn't pick up my Supernova until we were leaving. And I was helping bag things up and stuff. Ugh. Let's see. We got more stuff, though. That was a purchase, so we bought some more black wash.
Not mix it up with mine.
Pretty nice little mug. This is sort of an unglazed ceramic, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that will read there. Have to go back to the kill the Nova loop for a second. There you go. You can kind of see it's like that really matte kind of cover, and then it's glazed and enamel on the inside with the.
And the lettering's actually raised, or not raised, but recessed in it.
Yeah, it's carved into
Really
it.
nice.
It is a surprisingly nice mug. I was impressed.
Saw that cut.
Am I using too many of the same words?
No, I just hang out with you too much. I'm just kidding.
But I really liked it, so that was really fun. I love the Nova stickers this year too. The 2024 designs were really good. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. And yes, Melinda did beat it. I'm glad. All right, so that was one thing. If I cannot step on stuff. There's another thing in here too of the glasses for you. We got a NOVA Open shot glass. Ta-da! So that was another.
Mainly, I'm going to keep that at the studio here and use it to melt butter in when we cook popcorn and watch movies.
Yeah, we have quite a collection of shot glasses for a couple that don't drink.
I know, right? Literally used for melting butter and pouring it on popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. So Corvus Belli was there this year, and over the last year, they had a Kickstarter for their fantasy line called Warcrow. So there were a couple of miniatures they provided for that, which are not really like put together or anything, but you can kind of see. It's like that feller.
There you go.
And then promotional blister. I don't know what that is. Some metal business.
Who's that from?
Corvus
Is that
Belli.
also Corvus?
Yeah. And I don't know if that's specifically Warcrow or not. That looks... No, that's going to be sci-fi. So that is an Infinity Mini. And then we've got some resin here with the Buckler Man. So yeah. And they were doing Warcrow demos in the demo hall, which I didn't get any demos again this year because I'm horrible about that. This one, what is this company? I'm not sure what this one is, but we got this miniature as well. You can see nothing. Let's fix that focus.
I think it's just getting like
All the light.
Yeah, all the reflection. That ring light's like pointing right into it.
Fix that exposure. Aha! There we go.
He is a noble lord.
Nobly Lord. Very cool. Miniatures live over there. Of course, can't go wrong with some Nova dice. So that also was in the pack this year.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I haven't seen how they roll, but Baron of Dice was there, and they did very well this year.
Yeah.
I figure they always do. Dice are one of those things that people just kind of feel like they can't have enough of. Nova Open picks are cool. They were. It was really cool. Melinda came back with some fresh roasted green chili. Oh, that is nice.
I have lots of it, by the way, if you want a couple bags.
Oh, yeah? Now, let's see here. Do these roll at all well? It's covered. Ooh, they're all matte.
Oh.
Like, you look at them, actually pretty nice. Great dice. Yeah.
All right, those are Miranda's new dice now until they die or she finds something better.
Oh, they have that like cool matte feeling though. It's nice. All right, so yeah, got new dice, more dice. Okay, so A case was there, and they had these little dealies, which I don't know exactly the best way to put it.
They have little magnets on the top and bottom, and so you can
So
pop
you
a
use
miniature
that.
on there. And
Yes, you use that to put a miniature on there for painting, and then like the top sort of free spins, so you can, I don't know, do whatever that does for you. But yeah, they're pre-magnetized, and it's interesting. It's like a 3D print with the magnets put into there. So, do you end up magnetizing a lot of the minis, or does DJ?
DJ does for his.
Okay, so for painting his stuff, you might see if that is useful. Sergeant Steele. So one thing about dice, my orange set are very matte. That makes me very excited because I can use them for battle reports. That is a true fact.
Yeah.
Man, when you start recording games, you realize how much stuff reflects. And matte dice are your friend. And we didn't used to be able to find those. I think we ended up taking like cheap Walmart dice or something and sanding them.
Oh, they were like, what was it? Walgreens, I think is where I found them. They're just the super cheap ones, and I was like, okay, and I sanded them and hit them with a matte spray paint, and then painted the pips back in for our first battle report so that they would show up.
Things we had to do back in the day. Now everybody's got all the fancy equipment and all the stuff, but back in my day, children.
We had to roll dice uphill both ways.
Exactly.
The T-Rex on our way to the battle report room.
Uh-oh, Paul, I'm getting some new specific dice sometime soon, Miranda. I'll send you a pic after. Just use the rubber squig dice for battle reports, right? So innovative. Oh, I loved it. I don't know why, but there's a NOVA Open backed set of playing cards. So, you know.
Clearly those are for Malifaux.
Well, maybe for a 4-hour layover at the airport. Like,
Yeah,
so
that's what we should have done, right?
playing cards. Yeah, maybe for Malifaux. Although Malifaux has such beautiful card decks. Like,
We have some really good Malifaux cards too.
oh,
Got them
yeah.
from
I was
Adepticon.
given some when
in
we
the
were at
2013.
Valhalla this last year.
Yeah,
Who
I
gave
think-
me some.
Yeah.
I do play a lot of card games though, or I like to play a lot of card games. Something that carried over from my childhood, playing against my grandfather and losing horribly.
Always good memories.
He used to deal cards at a casino.
Patty says, dang.
I say
Tommy,
he
too
cheated.
fast.
That's right.
You say you cheated. As
If there's
all
anything
those
quicker
casino
than my
people do.
wit on this ship, I want it hunted down and killed.
Little tumbler thingy bopper. Gigantic, so yes. Gigantic tumbler thingy bopper.
I say, can you even?
Yeah, the tumbler's a little large for the
It is. Now,
turntable.
I don't know what you guys think of these. I kind of hate tumblers personally because the inside's always plastic and I can just taste that. And I know I'm a little princess about it, but it just can't do it.
Jeez, Miranda.
But
So picky.
I taste it. Have you ever seen a tumbler like this where the inside is glass? If that were the case, I would be all over that. I love the idea of reusable cups, but it just, plastic taste is not okay. And I don't like the metal taste either because that's very obvious. But yeah, like a little water tumbler thingy. People really had no excuse to not be getting hydrated at Nova. There was every opportunity.
They even had the little water things turned on,
Oh, yep.
like pretty early on. So
They did. Probably one of the more useful things out of Nova. Can never, ever have too many tape measures.
although I am gonna cut that little wristband off of it.
That's true, we don't. Yeah,
Those are always
those just
terrible.
drag. And
I like to catch miniatures.
okay, yeah, Paul says I never use those tumbler things. Right. Patty said, also, I just found one of the cards I didn't give you, Flo. It was hiding in my Rangers of Shadow Deep book.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
That's
next
rubber.
Valhalla, right?
That's right. Next Valhalla.
That's right. You got to bring your game to next Valhalla. Get some more demos in.
We got that thing, bottle opener thing.
It opens bottles and it does other things. I'm not sure what those
Yeah,
other things
like-
are.
I don't know if it.
It's like
Yeah,
a can opener
I have
or
no idea. I'm so uncultured on these things.
like a little tiny window scraper.
Another really useful thing, Nova branded brush soap.
Yeah.
Kind of really handy to always have around. So I think a lot of people appreciate that. Either for you or the hobbyist in your life, somehow or another that will get use. These were kind of fun, matte being the theme of everything. They're coasters, but they're like tiles.
Yeah.
Well,
like
I say that.
ceramic coasters.
They are ceramic coasters, yes. Absorbent coaster with cork backing.
Absorbent.
Absorbent.
Oh, so it's like an unsealed ceramic.
I guess so.
Water soaks into it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. There you go.
Oh.
More of a presentation for you. Does the Nova tape measure inches only then? Nope. You've got centimeters on here.
It's both, right?
It's both.
I've never seen a tape measure that's only on one.
I have actually, but
That's pretty good.
yeah.
It's funny. I think the only GW game I remember having centimeters is Epic.
Really?
Yeah, the original. What is it? 6 mil, 4 mil, whatever it was, where the Titans were introduced. But that one actually ran by centimeters. I don't know if any others did.
Well, Chevy, it's almost like this hobbyist has a drinking problem. All right. Oh yeah, so well, we got some free paint, bloop, which takes me to a bit of a segue because it's not in the swag bag, but Monument, who does Peracryl, has an official Nova color paint out, and so that's going to be, I think, part of their
Is
line.
it literally just called Nova?
I think it's Nova Orange or something.
Nova Orange. Oh, okay.
I think. I didn't prepare well for
It has an actual like what is it? It's not hexadecimal, is it? It's like hex. It's just a hex code.
Yeah. Yeah, hex code. For the color code on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda will know.
And then you can get
She has all those color
sweet
swatch
coin.
books and all that stuff. She knows it. What it's
But
called.
molten lava, it's a good color.
That's what I was just saying. Like, that's actually a really good color. Like, the oranges and the yellows of the Fanatic paints are amazing. I may or may not have been painting with them lately.
And then the coins are always super fun. I have a gold version as well, so
Because you're special.
I'm coined out. I've got so many coins. And then this thingy, what, cable wrangler? Kind of random, right? And then
I swear they just saw that it was orange and they're like, well, there you go.
right. So there's the rest of your random kind of things. Well, except for this one extra little thing in here. I'm too weak for this.
Oh, are you pulling that thing out?
Yeah,
That's not part of the swag bag.
it is part of the swag bag.
Oh, are you thinking something different? Oh, I thought you were pulling the light out.
No.
I see.
That
You're getting the even bigger box.
There was this other one thing that came with the supernovas. So, you got a supernova. You got an entire Scaventide box. Which, wow, that is heavy. Oh my god. A lot of minis. I remember talking about this when...
DJ's going to be excited about that.
Oh, yeah?
Loves the Skaven. I think so.
Skaven
Skaven are
pretty
cool.
cool.
Every single one of them is uniquely sculpted, as I learned from reading the last edition of White Dwarf, the last issue of White Dwarf.
Well, maybe not the last one.
Maybe not the very, very last one.
So for
502?
those who are waiting for a White Dwarf review for this last one, we just got too busy and went to Nova. So 503?
503, yeah.
503 probably isn't going to have a review. We'll be back for 504.
Yeah. So yeah, a whole Skaven box, or Scaventide box, which admittedly looks pretty neat. 74 miniatures in there.
Just a
And
box
you-
of 74 rats.
Well, there's the Stormcast Eternals in there too.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's more rats than Stormcast Eternals, presumably. And this is the one where they really lean into the Ruination Chamber, which, you know how I feel about that if you saw my last review. So yeah. Thomas, at Home Depot, we had them called cable cuffs. Pretty neat idea, very handy. No, I don't disagree.
Yeah, they're good for wrangling like extension cords or I guess network cables. Maybe that's what we'll use it for. So wrangle our network cable here at the studio.
Wouldn't complain. So yeah, that was really fun. And then as far as purchases, I did purchase a few things.
You might pull that thing down.
Yes.
It's kind of covering everyone. It's huge.
You need to up your weights when you're working your arms.
I know. Well, putting like your arm weight out there is different than.
I don't know. I was watching Miranda heave around some 20-pounders.
I was. That thing's so strong. I don't struggle with doors like I used to. But anyway, yeah. So that was the Nova swag, and that was really cool. And then there were some purchases I made, of which I didn't bring them all. I forgot my other bag of stuff. Dang it, because that was in my carry-on bag, whereas this was just in the box.
Yeah.
So I'll have to do that next time.
That was, well, you actually got some more Ogren.
I got some more Ogren, yeah.
And then you got, what did you get? You got like a brush and stuff in there from that place that gave you a thing. Oh, hey, you got a super chat.
Aw, thanks, Mac Attack. Life advice from Mac. I found if you tuck one of your pant legs into your socks, people expect a lot less from you.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's the way
gosh.
to go.
So is that like advice for me? Like I need to do that at the next convention? Well, thank you for that, Mac Attack. So yeah, I didn't remember to bring all my purchases. So, but yeah, I got some Bogren. I got a thing.
Well, do you have the little light? Do you have your light in a box?
I do have that. I bought this thing. So these I was seeing kind of everywhere, and we'll see if it's actually like as awesome as I think it is. So this was from the Game Envy booth, and it's just a 5 different LED light. And so it sort of comes out in like a T shape, right?
Well, like clamps to the table.
Yeah, it clamps to the table. I don't know. Should I take it out?
I don't know how it's packed. Maybe not.
Okay. Well, so it clamps to the table, right? So it's on one of those little things, and it has to clamp to a table. It doesn't have its own stand. And then it's got the little adjustable arm dilly, and then that comes out into a T shape. And on that T shape, there's 5 different segments, and each one of them has an LED light where you can change the color, temperature. You can either go through settings or graduate it up and down the color temperature, as well as brightness, and control the lights being on and off on either side of the
like on the
T,
extreme ends.
On the extreme ends, yeah.
Yeah. So
that seems very useful, especially if I do go back to some desk painting, which might happen.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Also, it wasn't all that expensive. I want to say it was around $80-ish, which for all the things it does sounded great. So that was one of the purchases, and apparently the rest are left at home. Whew. So yeah, there you go. That was the Nova haul for this year. So much stuff. I don't think I missed anything, right?
Unless you want to count like some of the random stuff we bought at the Spy Museum.
That's true. Got to check out the Spy Museum in DC. That was pretty fun. I learned I'd be a horrible spy, but I knew that before. Like, oh, you have to keep all these lies like straight in your head. It's like.
But we did learn we could crawl through vents like a ninja.
Yeah, but I guess so. Yeah, you can choose to kind of go up some stairs and crawl through a vent. And there's a different exhibit where someone can like try to catch you. But while you're crawling through the vent, there's a little light at the other end that measures how noisy you're being.
Yeah.
So you can see if you're a true ninja. It was at the ninja part of the exhibit. I was hanging out in the propaganda area like, ooh, more Soviet artwork. But
You're talking about, you got some good Chinese propaganda in there too. Like
we did. That's true.
Lots and lot of socialist propaganda.
Oh yeah, quite everywhere. I took some pictures too of that, but I guess those aren't on here. So yeah, go back to our little video rotation for people who haven't seen it.
By the way, Katie and Sergeant Steele gave Miranda an interesting idea for how to use her her Ogren. So
Yes.
she's.
Although I don't have the transport yet, but
Yeah, I wonder if we should have got that while we were. That should have been a thing.
Are we talking at all about the femstodes in that trailer at all? Dude, I haven't been looking at the news, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
The what?
I guess female custodies in a trailer?
Oh, they're in a trailer now? That's great.
I don't know.
Wow.
What was the nice thing actually running around a convention that was not around social media, oddly enough? Like for most of the weekend, it was just come back to it, and then clearly I haven't been in a hurry to get back to it. Sergeant Steele, I have 2 of those Lucent lights because I like them so much. They're the best lights I've ever owned. Well, I definitely appreciate that, then. I'm sure I will be quite pleased with it.
Well, he's saying you put them in a Stormlord also. Does the Stormlord have that same rule?
I don't know that you get the AP bonus for something coming out and firing, but
Yeah, because that was part of like what made the Ogren pretty mean.
the Ogren have the rule of a bonus AP if they fire at the closest eligible target.
Yeah, but there was like the transport where if they get out and shoot at the same thing that the transport shot at, they also got like an AP bonus and maybe even another bonus. I don't remember, but that was a whole thing.
Oh, okay. Yes, because I learned that you can stack all of the AP you want, whereas like ballistic skill and saves and stuff have limits. So yeah, I was learning so much this weekend. But I look forward to getting my ugly little Ogren painted up. Darktide has made them even more endearing, and I enjoyed them before, but just want my little mans.
Well, after Darktide, they're just, I don't know, you really like them. They're very endearing.
Excited for a Guard Codex not at the end of the edition? Boy, howdy am I. I think that'll be fun. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm hoping, as long as they don't separate all the regiments out, where you can't play, you know, where the Catachans can't play with the Cadians, can't play with the Krieg. I don't want that. Again, like, I love, my favorite thing about this edition is being able to put them all together. And so as long as that doesn't change, then I feel like whatever they do with the rules, I'll be fine with.
So here we go. Here's Sergeant Steele coming up.
Oh.
There he is. Super cool Acadian armor.
Oh, yeah. It looks so good. He's telling me he'd been in the Guard for, I believe, 13 hours and had already served 2 tours.
That's right.
Because, you know, there's only war after all. How many Ogren? Well, I just got 1 box, so that's 3 Ogren.
But we're going to get
like
3 more.
6 or 7 Bulgren. But yeah, I need.
Oh, you have like 9.
I might. Oh, do I have 9? Yeah,
I
a
thought you
lot.
had like, because at one point you could field 9, and we had all of them. I thought that was the case.
Yes, that would. Well, 1 unit can be 6. I think. I'm trying to remember now. Mac
Attack's got another one.
Oh, everyone! I showed all the replies that I get from y'all on my Twitter profile. I showed them to my psychiatrist, and she wants to talk to all of you.
She's gotta find me first.
Oh, I want to talk right back to her.
I know you would. Sergeant Steele, no, but the Stormlord can hold 40 models. Technically, you can hold 2 full 6-man squads of Ogrens, and then 4 characters. Just load them up with Commissars and Ogren, and just run it up and spit them out to the...
I don't understand why I can't put 4 Ogren on a Valkyrie. I've seen it happen. I know they can do it.
It's non-issue. It's non-regulated. What they're doing in Darktide is, you know, on the DL because you're all rejects. You're not official.
There you go.
That's how that works.
You're varlets.
Is she a psychodynamic theorist or a behaviorist? Psychodynamic theorist. Oh my god. 15 hours later is already a veteran. Exactly. Oh my god. Ogren's
I mean, if you were on Cadia in those last hours.
Oh, good times. Wasn't the cosplay so good though? Sergeant Steele, like getting to hang out. I mean, obviously you were sort of in the heart of it with Sister, and you had Tyler as the robed cultist, I guess. And then was it Spencer as a character? Like so many cool characters that you guys were all meeting.
What was the kid's name? So when you see the kid, the little tabard he's wearing, Miranda actually sewed that. And so that's why I had that picture in there. But she did all the little gears on it and stuff. In fact, when you see the actual Adeptus Mechanicus guy, Miranda sewed that
The
whole
robe
robe.
part, yeah. That's right. I'm working on my cosplay stuff. Got some inspiration. Got to look over that Sister Battle costume as well. See how we would incorporate some of those ideas. Because we really want to make like a more functional kind of one. So we'll see. We'll see how close we get to it. By the way, Sergeant Steele says that Ogrins break the seats and then it upsets the Navy, which is why you can't fit 4 of them in there. The planet broke before the guard did. That's right. No spoilers. The trailer you saw, the female custodians, was something else, not Space Marine 2. Oh, okay. Kadian. It's great to see some photos and videos of the cosplay. Can't wait to get some of the still photos from the convention and then publish them. I got one with my teammate Joe in the preacher outfit. Oh, nice. Yeah, I assume all of those are probably going to come up on the Instagram at some point. What perks do they have for volunteers? I don't fully know, honestly.
What? You should know this.
I should. They feed you. There's food most days. You're allowed to sleep. Oh, I don't know. If you're volunteering a bunch, then it'll cover things like, they'll generally give you. I don't know exactly the rules around it, so don't quote me.
Good job, Miranda.
But you can get like your hotel room comped, which is a big part of the cost, right? I don't know if your travel is really comped because a lot of the people who volunteer there are local, and then you like swag stuff. You should be able. I think you get to go to the fun parties afterward if you're not too tired, and then you get to enjoy being at a sweet convention that I assume your attendance fee is also comped. So yeah, it's quite fun. I want to see the giant marine cosplay in person someday. What's up, Louise?
Yeah, we just kind of went over to the the narrative campaign area, and we're like, why is there a bunch of Space Marine armor against the wall? And Chris was like, I don't know, I just came out and it was there. And so he was just storing it there, I guess, but it's just sitting there.
Well, as I walked over, I'm all, here's a cosplay ribbon. Hopefully I'll see you later in it. So I got to hand out cosplay ribbons to people. It's very exciting. MacTech, again, I'm being so friendly. If any of you are wondering, I have to be funny because being attractive isn't exactly an option for me. That's it for me. Have lulls without me. Well, we'll miss you, MacTech.
So I don't know. I mean, normally you would say you have a face for radio, but it's almost more like you have hands for super chats. I don't know. Voice for super chats. I don't know.
Well, but he's telling all the jokes. And the jokes are fun.
A brain for super chats.
JP, if you get hotel space, I could do that. Don't know what to do at a convention where I'm not working. You can just have a booth there or set up a demo of your game. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like,
Oh, good night, MacTac.
thank you again, MacAttack. You have a great night.
Bye.
I guess all of our attendance at conventions, because I didn't start going to Adepticon or any of the major conventions till after our channel started.
Yeah.
So everything was always in a quasi-work-ish mode of like, how do I market this? How do I frame this? How do I, just attending as a normal attendee. The last time we did that was when we went to BlizzCon, and we didn't like it.
Oh, yeah. It was like, what?
Fine.
I'm just a normal pedestrian like everyone else.
I'm a normal plebeian.
I know.
Got a lacerator in here in this chat. Yo, everyone. Look, I'm closer to a great unclean one cosplay than I'd like to admit. Oh, whatever. I'm following your Discord. You got your whole fitness thing going on in
I'm
there.
mostly impressed that he's growing those horns.
Wow. I'm gonna have to come see you, Luis, and buy some Bulgrin. I'm sorry, some Ogrin from you. I got a Skaven Tide box. Want to trade? Oh man. So anyway, what else happened at Nova? There were major things. There was the big GW reveal, and I know people were kind of like really not super impressed with it. At the same time, I don't exactly know what everyone was expecting for or hoping. Like, it would be cool if they were like, P.S. we have a new miniature and it's available for sale this weekend at the convention. Like, that would be fun. But I think the last major blow your mind, oh my god, cool announcement I really saw was at the Grand Narrative when it was in Albuquerque, and that was when Fast Tour got revealed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was like a major point in the story. And I know, you know, there's like new AOS.
They could introduce, like, everyone, we have a new bag of Nurgles.
Here's just, if they just sold like the way they sell skulls, you know, for your basing, if they just have sassy Nurglings, like if they could just do that in bulk, I feel like that would have gotten a cheer. Oh yeah, there's a new season of Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl season 2.
Yeah, they introduced the Chaos Dwarves.
Chaos Dwarves, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, old school.
Good old Skaven side. Yeah. That is a heavy box. Holy cow. Yeah, so there's the new kill team. There obviously is the AOS coming out. There was the new Blood Bowl season. Kill team was another thing, but it had already been announced before the reveal here. And then we're getting some Krieg. Okay, so Imperial Guard are getting some Krieg at the beginning of the year or sometime next year. I don't know. And then we all know to expect the new Codex. So I'll be saving my pennies for that one. Hopefully it doesn't FAQ in the first week.
I know, right? I mean, you know, it's by the time you break the plastic on it, half those rules are going to be different.
Lacerator's like, now that's a product. Give me a box of little Nurglings, right?
No, like almost like that little squishy stuff, like they make those little fishing lures out of.
Oh my god.
And so it's just those. So you can throw them at each other. And
I feel like if you could have a tiny squeaker in there.
ooh,
Now we're just gonna make ourselves the gumball machine that you can like take to conventions, and they just
I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
gumball machine. So, what is that? You know those things you used to have as a kid that was like that squishy stuff, but you'd throw it at a wall.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Make
and
them
then slowly
sticky.
start. Yeah,
Oh no.
that'd be great.
Oh
Sticky hand.
no. We're gonna
Now,
see
what
that.
is that? Does Smooth On make that? Is that a
Wait.
product that Smooth On could supply me with?
Stay tuned for Wargamer Girl's next Kickstarter.
Right.
Give us 2 weeks. We'll
It'll
figure
be called Totally Not Nurglings.
totally not Nurglings.
In parentheses, don't sue us, please.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
No, it's more like what you would take. We would take the gumball machine and then you just put them in those little eggs.
in the capsules.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then people would buy little squishy Nurglings. They could throw at each other. They'd throw them on the ceiling. And they'd just sit there and like an hour later fall off onto somebody else.
I mean, it's on brand. Let's be real. That would work. I do not look forward to Wargamer Girl doing a resin Kickstarter again. So that was actually really fun at the War Machine room where all those were happening. I met a guy who had one of our Kickstarter towers.
Oh, yeah.
And he kitted it out. He put lights in it. He like ran.
Might have been smoke in it too.
Yeah, I think
like,
it's like he does amazing stuff with his models and terrain where he, you know, adds all those extra things like the lights and the smoke and all that. And so he did that with the tower. It was really fun. So get to see a picture of what he'd done with that. It's so fun to see those out in the wild after like 10 years.
oh, I know, right?
Right? But pouring that was, you know,
I remember
was a
how
journey.
exciting it was the first time I saw someone post a picture of one they had put together and painted.
And
I was like,
painted.
oh my God. That's,
Yeah, because they went a
what a
whole
cool
different
feeling.
direction. Was it like more orange?
I
That's the one I'm
spent, yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
I spent a couple of months modeling that thing.
It was
And so
it was ambitious.
interesting to see it in the wild at all.
33 or something individual pieces on there.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah, it
something
was a
crazy.
major project. We're like, here, let's do this. Whew. It was a good learning experience. But yeah, that was great. Anyway, sticky Nurglings would be easier.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
Totally not Nurglings. Coming to Kickstarter soon.
We just call them what? Blob demons? Green blob demons?
There you go. Just little disease spreaders. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Now, and they did have plushies at the store, but they were cleaned out of them by the time I got around to doing my shopping on Sunday. I was like, any chance you had Sassy Nurgling? And they're like, they're gone day one. Come on. That's fair. They Norglings. There you go.
Norglings, yes.
That's a good name.
Perfect.
Oh man. Yeah, so a bunch of classes, which I haven't participated in any of them, but apparently like most painting classes, assembly classes, Adam was running stuff on like how to do content creation, like all of those had pretty much filled up. And then there were also some panels. So I helped run a panel on game design, which was really cool. Got to talk to the designer, owner of Black Powder Red Earth. And, you know, we've had lots of talks on here about sort of the philosophy behind what a war game is. And it was interesting talking to him because he's like super crunchy about like, no. I mean, I say crunchy. He's not looking for a bunch of rules, but he cares about like.
Well, he's looking for the fidelity of recreating battle scenarios.
Yeah, in modern warfare, right? Because his whole thing is more like Middle Eastern specific urban warfare. With
what is it? Modern warfare in a failed state, I think is the description of his game.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. It's a really good name, Last Raider. I agree.
Also, Thomas Grable got his tester's dull coat in. That stuff is amazing. It's like the best dull coat, but be super careful about your lungs because that stuff is real bad for them.
I'm sure Thomas knows perfectly well, but yes, generally speaking, do it outside. Like, yeah, you could do a respirator, but just outside. It is really super toxic. We're Gamer Girl team going to team up with Malev or Adam to produce a small box game.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, if we know someone who could handle the production, like we've got ideas for days. So.
But did you die? She almost did.
Me?
Yeah, whenever we did our last resin casting thing.
Oh yeah,
Man, there's a picture we need to just have on this computer. You can just pull up.
Of my
Miranda looks like Walter White.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Man 200, like the mold release spray, was reacting to Miranda's skin, and so it was giving her rashes and stuff. So she had to
very nurgly.
Completely like.
No, it was like
herself.
A delayed reaction that turned into a rash that got like really swollen. Like it was horrible. Like it really did feel like just Nurgle, like everything you would imagine. Because it just got worse and worse and worse before just going away. And you're like, oh, thank God. I didn't know if my skin was going to fall off. So, yeah. Thomas, is anyone going to Warfare Weekend in November? I'm running Iron Kingdom's Requiem there. I want to see pictures. Will not be going there. The Northeast is exhausting to be in. So I feel like Nova's about as much energy as I can do. I can put in there. What are the armies in the footage from? Tournament or dedicated paint contest? Tournament. So there was a GT, 40K GT there. Some of them might. Did you get any shots of the narrative tables?
No, I don't think I really got the narrative tables.
Okay, so then these are all just from the GT.
Yeah, well, so these tables here are just from the regular GT, but then the armies that are set up that are kind of on their own display boards, I think those are from the narrative. Like, I think those are armies that they had put in the narrative, I think.
There was a painting competition for the narrative, so our Sister of Battle, Rachel, was the paint judge for that. And I don't know who won, but they were all really nice looking.
In fact, if Sergeant Steele is still here, he might actually know the answer to that.
There you go.
I just found them back where the narrative games were. And I was like, what is happening here? This is cool. I'm going to get pictures of this. So.
Oh, it is in St. Louis. I thought Warfare Weekend was like Maryland or something.
I don't
know why.
If it's east of the Mississippi, I don't even know where it is.
He said it's in St. Louis, not the Northeast, Midwest. Thank you very much. It's about the most Midwest that you can be. We'll stand corrected. Fair enough.
So if that's Midwest, what is Oklahoma?
It's super Midwest.
Yeah, like Kansas and Oklahoma. You know, you get into the
Flyover
Southwest
states.
when you start hitting like Texas and New Mexico is
You're
definitely
Southwest,
Southwest,
yeah.
but Midwest I always thought of as like right in the middle, like I said, like Oklahoma and Kansas and that little area.
Maybe Missouri would be
Yeah,
pretty
see
much right
Missouri.
in there. So he's not
Nothing
wrong.
like going to Missouri.
I remember
I
just
liked
driving
John-
through St. Louis every time
Uh-huh.
on the way to Adepticon.
Stopping at the Awful House in Joplin, Missouri.
Yeah,
Where we're served by Tank Girl.
yeah. Get waited on by Tank Girl.
It was a fun experience.
That was a good time.
It was. Road trips are fun. Sergeant Steele, Martin Orlando won the Narrative Army Painting Award. One of the Tau players won Best Display Board. I think the B-roll may be from the tournament boards, though. I don't recognize any of them. Oh,
Ah, okay. Well, those
You
are
don't
tournament
know.
boards, though, clearly. Like I said, I just kind of was going back there to the narrative area, and I just saw them out, and I was like, oh, those are great.
JP got Rockets. We don't talk about Oklahoma. Admittedly, that's where I got my wargaming start. Games HQ.
Yeah, that's true. In Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
He literally gave you your Kador starter box. He's like, what? A girl in my game store in 2000 and whatever it was? Like,
Oh.
and he's just like, here.
2008, 2009, probably.
Yeah,
because
something like that.
Yeah.
it was like the year or two after that that I met you guys.
And it was still Mark 1. It hadn't swapped to Mark 2 yet.
Yeah. Well, it would have
Black
been even
and white
earlier than
cards.
that.
Yeah.
Because, all right, so it would have been like a year or two after World of Warcraft started.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there you go. What were all those Red Titans from? Saturday Night Battle or the Horus Heresy event, perhaps? So those Red Titans are actually 3D prints. It was phenomenal. So
Most-
they were up in the
Like
the
there's
two of them.
there's some kit bashing on the Imperator Titan as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But mostly like his
Largely.
the carapace on him is obviously like a scaled up version of the Warlord. And like so a lot of it is clearly printed from a thing, but he did some decent amount of kit bashing and stuff on it too, that it's like it's not just a 3D print. Like the guy put in a lot of work.
He did. And I mean, that thing itself stands 3 to 3.5 feet tall,
Yeah.
something like that. So it's a really, really big model. But that was sitting over in Hobby Haven. Because it's non-official, it couldn't be in like the Titan Walk or any of those battles or anything.
Honestly, I have no idea what he was. So those are over in that little hallway where they just have tables set up for painting, like all the way around it. And he had it there, but I don't actually know what table he ever put it on, if he ever rolled dice with it or anything.
I don't think he
have no idea.
played with it. Apparently, it wasn't even red at the beginning of the con when he got there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he just got there and just sort of started painting it to
Oh,
get
okay.
some base colors on it.
So maybe just hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
painting it, showing off his cool Titan, which I can appreciate.
Well, yeah, and we were kind of talking about the construction a bit because he had found the files or modified and had to modify them because they weren't printing correctly. And so he said something like, oh God, 3,000 or 30,000, don't remember which number, of print hours. Like a
Oh my
lot of print hours.
I can't imagine more than 3,000.
Maybe,
That's-
but I know
even
stuff
that's
had to
a
get
lot.
reprinted because there were a lot of failed prints, and he'd have to come and tweak
Yeah.
stuff. And then he said that the final model, like what was just there, as a PLA print, was like 60 to 70 pounds.
Which seems crazy to me.
It does, and I wasn't gonna test it, right?
Yeah.
So I was just trusting what he said. And then he
That's-
had a Bane.
Maybe it was like Canadian pounds or something. Maybe they're different.
What?
I said maybe they're Canadian pounds.
they're
maybe
not
they're
as-
just different.
Not like American pounds. We do that right over here.
Right.
No, I'm pretty sure it's an American dude.
Yeah, no, it's because I mean I've made some pretty sizable prints and stuff at this point, and none of it I would say even got half that heavy. So I don't know.
Well, I asked what his infill was. He said it was 20% infill.
Yeah, which is
Well,
what I do
20%.
a
Maybe
lot
he
of.
had like, he did what DJ did with the swords and added like
Steel rods.
steel
and stuff.
rods in it.
Well, he
Maybe.
does have some dowels in there, I think, to help with
Yeah,
support.
with the legs
because you're
especially. I would
basically
have bet.
pinning a lot, like just after a certain point. Structurally speaking, like the material might not be able to support its own weight to a certain point. So
Oh,
it
is
was
the
really cool.
lacerator from Canada? He says his
Our
pounds are
pounds
heavier.
are heavier.
Or is he British? Because their pounds are heavier than our dollars.
I used all the print hours, so much that it used up the print hours others can't use anymore. I don't remember. It was a lot of print hours. Maybe, I don't know how many print
It's
hours
almost like queuing up for like AI renders.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, that was what the deal with those Titans were, which turned out pretty well. I know there were some kids, and I mean, just people walking by, it would just catch their attention. Like, not a miniature anymore, right? And that's huge. So it was really fun.
I got a bright idea that maybe next year I might like cast and mold a bunch of foam Blood Bowl footballs. So it's like a football, but with all the spikes and stuff on it, but it's all made out of foam. Maybe give them out as prizes for the tournament or something. But
there you go.
Like, because that was also down in that area. There you go. You're just pausing it on that.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was freaking crazy.
That's probably 3 foot. If I had 3, maybe 3.5 foot. Because if the other one's the regular like 22 inch or 24 inch, like a
warlord.
A warlord is, but he printed that one too, so I don't know if it's the same height. You know, so
yeah, I don't know.
But it's pretty cool.
Skilled. So yeah, it was fun. Did a good job. A lot of big old guns on that thing. And then he made the demon warlord. It was a Bane something name that not stick in my head. So all right, well, I think we can probably wrap out from here, yeah? Any final thoughts on Nova?
I mean, it was a cool convention.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Next year I want another big giant. I want like a balloon kaiju to fight with the BattleTech balloon mech out front.
That's fair.
Like we need more. Like GW needs to bring like a giant balloon. Oh crap! What do you call those guys? The little bugs that come out of the ground. The real big ones. They're about the same, almost the height of a Night Titan. What am I thinking of? Hierodual, a Megadual, a Megafont. I don't know. Whatever their names are for the Tyranid stuff. But he's got like the little curly tail and he comes up out of the ground. Chat will know.
You should talk to the people that do the balloon sculptures at Gen Con. Ooh.
We don't need to talk to them. We're in Albuquerque. We're in the balloon capital of the world. Surely somebody can sew. Trigon. There you go. Surely somebody can sew together a Tyranid balloon out here.
Oh, in the hot air balloon capital? We should just get a hot air balloon of a...
Oh, jeez.
Of a... something.
Of a something.
I don't know. Then it would have to be a flyer, right? Like, at that point, you'd want it to be a flyer.
Yeah, you just have to do that.
Well, anyway, I think, yeah, we'll end it here. That was our talk for that. We'll find maybe a little bit more of a crunchy topic for next week, or next 2 weeks. So that'll be the 18th.
Ultralight-a-lisk.
What?
It would be an ultralight-a-lisk. Huh?
An inflatable urban mech. Yes. So we're going to be closing out here. Feel free to continue in the chat. I'll be answering any questions as well in the chat, but hopefully we'll see you again in 2 weeks. And yeah, thank you again. Thanks for everyone for being in the chat. Good seeing you, especially those of you who I saw at Nova or any other conventions. See you next time.
All right, take care, all.
Cover me. All right, guys, this is it. Copy that. No more sandwiches, Barry.
problem with this place. I'm in the west corridor. I'm right outside the generator room. I'm out of bullets. Oh, Barry.